Ronke Fashola, and I am the Business Pathway Leader on IPF, International Preparation for Fashion. Shout out to all my students. And so we look after students internationally coming from various different countries who are interested in studying design, media and business, which is obviously my pathway. So I look after the students who want to progress and become buyers, merchandisers, work in marketing, fashion design development, entrepreneurs of the future, what can I say? So so that's me in a little nutshell, working at LCF. And also I have, since last year, started a really interesting, creative and engaging platform called Future of Fashion, which introduces a whole host of well-established speakers. So we've had Kath Kitston, we've had ASOS, Tati Divine, and more to come. I'd say I was kind of like an old schooler because I've gone from the ground up. I studied in GNVQ here at what was Davis Street, which no longer exists, and then went on to do my degree. And I think I was probably the second year when the fashion management course was introduced. So I did my degree and graduated and went into fashion buying for about 10 years and worked as a fashion buyer for various high street brands, and came back to UAL to lecture and hopefully pass on my knowledge to others to hopefully make them successful and creative and inspire them. So it's kind of like a full circle. It's been actually a very interesting eye-opener. I think a lot of the things that I knew, it's been interesting for me to be able to put the names behind and solidify it in a way where I feel more confident. I've just finished working with Terry and Aisha, which has been mind-blowing and emotional, and I'm actually quite sad it's over. I've just finished writing one of my last blogs and I'm wondering, I've got no one else to really share this passion with, but what they've given me is the opportunity to be able to share that passion with my students. So yeah, it's been great. I'd say my creative practice, as you can see behind me, is a brand called Love Your Look, and I created it because I wanted a brand where people felt they could express themselves without needing to conform to what was on the high street. That was really one of the fundamental things for me. It wasn't about following trends, it was about creating a unique style where people could feel fashionable and fun and embracing their body shapes. So it was really also important for me to go to a size 24, so we start from sizes 8 to 24. So the premise is about, having something unique and expressing your individuality, your personality coming through. Part of me starting that was because I have this huge love for vintage and have been collecting vintage clothing since I was 16. And the 1950s and 40s were my favourite era for sort of dressing and clothes and detail and the prints and the colours. And that's kind of where a lot of my inspiration comes from, the shapes, the silhouettes. I absolutely love the 1950s for clothes and design and music as well. There shouldn't be any rules in creativity, not really. I think it's about expressing yourself, I think it's about being innovative. My mantra that I always tell my students is to think outside the box. Fashion, when I teach in my class, isn't about just clothes. Fashion is about chocolate, it's about nails, it's about tea, it's about, computer covers. It can be anything. Think outside of the box. So really, no, I don't think there should be any rules of being creative. You should have fun with it. And I think the way that the economy and I think the way that the fashion industry is looking in the UK, more and more the consumer wants something different. The consumer wants to have something delivered to their door. They want to have something that is unique and not the same as everyone else. We're becoming quite sort of this drone of the Kim Kardashian. We all want the same, all these girls want to have a tiny waist and a big booty, but I think things are slowly changing, and there's going to be a rise, I hope, of a generation who want to be unique and different. My mum, I mean, that's an easy question, right? She's super inspirational to me. And Oprah Winfrey. I think when you see people on the platform who are successful, who you can resonate with, it's fantastic. So yeah, Oprah Winfrey was a huge influence for me, and I remember reading something at a very young age where nobody wanted to give her a show. Nobody believed in her. Yeah, you see, something new, you know. Nobody wanted to give her a show. You think, why didn't they want to give her a show? Nobody believed in her. And so she set up her own program. And that's how she got started, and then slowly people started to back her up. And I remember reading that and thinking, well, if nobody believed in her and she wanted to do it and she just did it, well, why can't I do it? And that's kind of been my whole thing. That's how I've kind of lived my life from a very young age. I set up my first business when I was 23, and my second business when I was 28, which is this, and it's kind of grown organically. And you know, nobody wanted to give me a chance, so I thought, well, I'm just going to do it myself. And you just do it, you just make it happen. To definitely spend more time resting and maybe traveling, to not compare myself to everybody. I think that's something as creatives we tend to do, and also remind myself that my time will come. And it has. You know, I was very much part of, and I think LCF are great at doing this, creating really successful and motivated, enthusiastic business fashion designers, and you all work together, and then you sort of see people growing at different times and doing amazing things, and it might not be your time, but you have to kind of remind yourself, your time will come, it will happen, and just keep believing. Just keep believing and your time will come. I think that those are two things I definitely keep saying to my younger self.